I feel like we haven't really talked about Bernie ever, really. Like, at least his policies. We talked about like the movement of Bernie and his supporters, but we've never really broken down what he actually believes. So let's take a minute to do that. He's pretty crazy. We could characterize this lots of different ways. Like, let's back it up. For Trump, what was the craziest policy proposal that Trump had when he was running for president? Like the thing that was furthest to the right. When I think Trump's policy promises that he was making during the campaign, the first thing that comes to mind, I think for me, I think for everyone, was build a wall, right? Build a wall, have Mexico pay for it. The Mexico pay for it part, that was him just setting like a marketing anchor in the future, but let's just focus on the policy of building a wall. Like, was that outrageous? Was that an outrageous plan to run on? Every Republican forever has talked about border enforcement and building a fence. So you just changed it from fence to wall, and like that makes him a radical far-right extremist. Every Democrat has talked about border enforcement. There's a clip going around, I saw it this morning for the first time, of Amy Klobuchar in 2006. She was at some debate talking about building a border fence, and then she criticized George W. Bush for not cracking down enough on companies that hire illegal immigrants. Okay, that's Amy Klobuchar not that long ago. So like really think about this. Was there any position that Trump talked about on the campaign trail that was too far to the right for the Republican Party? I can't think of anything that he articulated where Republicans were like, whoa, that's a lot. I don't know if anything, the concern was that Trump wouldn't be conservative enough, that he was some sort of secret New York Democrat in disguise. Remember the National Review? They put that Never Trump edition out. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. We reviewed and went back and read them again and to see how wrong a lot of these people were. But a lot of the concerns that top conservatives had during the Republican primary was that he was really a Democrat. He's like this secret Democrat, and he's going to win in the Republican Party, and then he's going to turn out to be this far lefty. So, no, and I don't remember at all any Republican voter concerned that he's too far to the right. I bring all that up because that's the problem right now for the Democrats and Bernie. Bernie's far to the left, like way further to the left than Trump was running in the Republican primary to the right. You know what I'm trying to say? He's as far left as any American can really ever be. So let's start with the $34 trillion Medicare for all. Some people say $60 trillion. I'll be generous here. Let's say it's $34 trillion. Now that's over 10 years. So let's just, for the sake of this conversation, let's just say $3.4 trillion a year. Medicare for all. $3.4 trillion. A little perspective on $3.4 trillion. The United States government spends about $600 billion on the entire military. $600 billion on the entire military. Every single aspect of the military, $600 billion. Bernie's talking $3.4 trillion. Now, a little perspective on our $600 billion for the military. That's an enormous amount of money. China, our big superpower foe, spends about $200 billion on their military. So we spend $600 billion. China spends $200. Russia spends $70 billion. And France they have the biggest military budget in Europe. They spend about $63 billion. Every other country in Europe spends $50 billion or less. So like England spends $50 billion on their military. They're $50 billion. We're $600 billion on our military. And Medicare for all would be $3.4 trillion, being generous. That is just an insane amount of money. So that's the first thing. He wants the bailout student loan nonsense. That's $1.6 trillion. And it's not even the financial cost of that. I can't even fathom the social implications of bailing out everybody's student loans. Or I should say, it's not everybody, it's everybody who hasn't paid their student loans, right? The social implications of that, like the people who have paid off their loans are gonna pay for people who haven't paid off their loans. Like, I don't think so. You're gonna get people who made a lot of sacrifices in their life to pay out people who made bad financial decisions, who took out $100,000 in loans for their sociology degree, and their big plan was to pay it back $80 a month for the next 200 years. Like that was their thing. And my wife and I, who have made major life decisions to cut back so we could pay off our student loans, I'm going to pay for that guy? Like, no way. People freak out. And Carville mentioned that the other day, too. Because remember, we played the video of someone confronting Elizabeth Warren for the same thing. And she just totally brushed him off. Like, you can't go around campaigning on that you're going to have everyone else who did the responsible thing pay off the loans for everyone who didn't. That's insane. Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.